Hey, this is a screencast series called Vim Un-Alphabet. My name is Josh Branchard, and this is episode 13 in the series. In this episode, we'll be looking at the parentheses characters. For the first use of parentheses, you'll see that we can jump forward and backward an entire sentence. If you hit open paren, you'll jump back an entire sentence. If you hit close paren, you'll jump forward a sentence. We have a couple sentences here to see how that will work. If we start hitting close paren, we'll jump forward through these sentences and even down to new lines. Hitting open paren a couple times will bring us back through the sentences. Sentences are text objects delimited by standard English punctuation like periods. Paragraph and section boundaries are also treated as sentence boundaries, which is why the cursor stopped on that empty line. When jumping to a sentence boundary, the cursor will be placed on the first character of the first word. Next, we'll see that a pair of open and closing parentheses represents a parenthetical text object. As we've seen with text objects in earlier episodes, there are a number of actions we can take with a text object like this. For instance, we can visually select the entire parenthetical text block. We could delete everything inside of the surrounding parentheses characters. It's also worth noting that AB and IB are equivalent to A paren and I paren. So we can see here that if I hit VA paren, I will visually select the entire block. Or if I am to hit DI paren, I will delete just the insides. Similarly, if I hit DAB, I will delete the entire block. Another thing to note, which is useful in a programming context, especially if you're using a Lisp, is that you can include a count after an action to signal that you want to affect that many layers of the nested parens. By default, these commands are just going to touch the nearest innermost level of parens that we are inside of. So if we hop over to here, where I'm inside two levels of parens, and then let's say our action is to visually select, so I hit V2 and then IB, that results in a selection of the insides of the second layer of parens. So that's how that works. Parentheses are used as part of invoking functions in Vim. Just like many languages, if a function takes arguments, then those arguments go inside the parentheses. As an example, we can echo out a random number with rand. Or we can seed rand by calling it with srand. And there's a random number. Try it out, I bet you'll get the same thing. If I open a help command with open paren and hit tab, you can see there are a whole bunch of built-in functions to explore. If that seems interesting to you, you might enjoy checking out VimScript. Last off, let's see how parentheses can be used to form capture groups when writing substitutions. We've already seen this in several episodes, but let's take a closer look. The capture group is opened with \open paren, and then you can close the capture group with \close paren. The idea is that we can capture portions of the pattern match in the first part of our substitution and then inject those into the replacement part of the substitution. So in our example, this first capture group will represent the name of a JavaScript function. The second capture group will represent the function parameters, like these ones here. With those two captures in the match, then after the const, we're able to use \1, which corresponds to the first capture group, our function name, and then \2, which corresponds to the second capture group, the parameters. Let's jump down here and give it a try. Opening up the substitute command, we match the function keyword, then start our first capture group with any sort of function name, then close the capture group. Then there is a paren, the start of the parameters, and then we open the second capture group, where we match on anything that could be a parameter. Close the capture group, close the paren, and put this curly on the end here. Now, we replace all of this with const, followed by \1, which is our first capture group, then an equal sign, then the open paren, followed by \2 for our second capture group. Close the paren, add the rest of this, and then we can run that by hitting enter. And yep, that looks like it worked. That's it for this episode. You can check out the help docs for more details if you'd like. In the next episode, we'll be looking at the underscore character.